something that is something not to do when you're doing oil painting. So in our Learn to Paint oil classes, we use both traditional oils. We try out traditional oils so that people understand how the old masters paint with using terps or solvents to clean up the paint out of the tubes or out of the brushes. And we also, so that's traditional oils, and then after playing around with those in our Learn to Paint oil classes for beginners, we also try out this new modern material which is called water-soluble oils. So water-soluble oils will also be able to be cleaned up with solvents as well, but if you don't want the smell in your rooms, or if you have a headache when you use solvents with oil paints, then this is a fantastic new product. And we love this because you can actually wash up the brushes in water. So the amazing thing between these two, I always find, is that you can use solvent with both of them. But in a previous art tip, so here's the thing that you must never do. In a previous art tip, I told you all about how to use one of these lovely stainless steel brush washers. So they're really good. When you're using traditional oils, you can clean up your brush in this thing. It's got a little basket that goes with it so that inside you can clean your brush really well. And so these are designed really for using with terps. So you put your terps or your solvent into this pond in here, and then you clean your brush up, and all the sediment sits to the bottom, and you can so you can actually leave the solvent in there, let the sediment of the paints slip to the bottom, and then you can pour off the clean fluid at the end of it. So I often leave this dish sitting with solvent in, and I usually put a cover over it, so even if I'm using the odorless solvent from a couple of different brands, Archival and there's Winsor & Newton one as well. So you can use odorless solvent, but I always put a cover over the top anyway. So with this, when you use solvent in this dish to clean up your paints, it's fine to leave it there for weeks on end or months on end if you want to, with solvent sitting in this stainless steel brush washer. And then you can just clean it out anytime you want when there's too much sediment at the bottom of the pot. But here's what you must never ever do. I can tell you this from experience because I did it. So this is water-soluble oils, which is the new product that we're using in our Learn to Paint classes. Love it, love it, love it. And you could think to yourself that you could put water into this stainless steel dish and use that for cleaning up your brushes. But no, no, no. I discovered the hard way that I decided I would be very clever and label it that this has got H2O in it, it's got water inside it, not solvent, so I don't get them mixed up, because you know, if you're in your art space where you're painting, you don't want to have all these different clear fluids all over the place and not know which one is which. So I always label things so I know what the invisible fluid is that's inside the pot. So I decided to label this one. I was going to use it for my water-soluble terps, but this is what happens when you leave water sitting in one of these stainless steel brush washers. This has been thoroughly cleaned, but look at all the rust in the pot. So obviously stainless steel isn't exactly 100% stainless steel, because it can rust when you get just the right combination of chemicals in there. And I imagine there's a fair few interesting chemicals going into the tubes of paints in order to make oil paint dissolve in water. There's probably some magical chemical ingredients in there. And hi Christina, hi Linda. So it may not just be that the water has made this rust, it could be the combination of other chemicals that's in the paints that is combined with it to cause a reaction where it's oxidizing this steel into ferrous and giving you some nice rust. So this pot is basically destroyed. Look at it, it's rusted all on the inside here. This is just from leaving it in just a couple of days of leaving the water, because I'm using water to clean up my brushes with water-soluble oils. And just a couple of days of leaving it sitting in the pot there, and the entire dish is rusted. So this is your tip for today. What not to do when you're painting with oils. If you're using water-soluble oils, don't use a stainless steel brush washer with water to clean up your brushes, however much you might be tempted, like I was. Always use plastic. Use a plastic pot of some sort and put your water in there and wash your brush up that way. So I hope you can learn from my mistake of destroying this lovely stainless steel brush washer. I thought I'd keep it to show you, and then it's going to have to go into the bin, sadly. So there's no way to clean up this, and it's kind of loosened up the basket as well. So very sad day to throw a nice brand new stainless steel brush washer into the bin, but that's what happens with modern stainless steel. It's not as stainless as you think it is. So that is a thing that you must not do when you're using water-soluble oils. I hope that's useful. Thanks for watching.